How's it going, everybody? Thank you all very much. I always appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. Now, anyone out there that knows me knows I'm very fond of old school movies. I love classics. I just love a good story. It doesn't matter what decade the film is from. I'm just a film appreciator. And if it's good, it's good. If it's great, even better. Right now, I am talking about a great black and white movie from 1932. I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. I know a lot of people out there have trouble getting into old school black and white movies because they're just so damn old because, you know, we are in a modern age. We like to watch modern movies, and I get it. But I'm here to tell you, if you think a black and white movie can't be exciting or suspenseful or thrilling, you are really wrong about that because this movie is all of those things and more. This movie stars the great Paul Muni. Paul Muni was the star of the original 1932 Scarface from director Howard Hawks, the film that the 1983 Al Pacino film was based on. Also starred in movies like The Life of Emile Zola, The Story of Louis Pasteur. Directed by Mervyn LeRoy, who directed many classic films, movies like the 1949 Little Women. He also directed Madame Curie, No Time for Sergeant, starring Andy Griffith before he starred in The Andy Griffith Show. And one of my personal favorites from 1956, The Bad Seed. I do have a review of that movie on my channel if you want to check that out. That's a great film. This is actually based on a true story. This is based on the autobiography of a man called Robert E. Burns, a real-life escapee from a chain gang. At the very start of the film, we see that Paul Muni's character Jim Allen is full of hopes and dreams as he heads home after serving his country. He fought in World War I in the Army, but now after learning how to be an engineer in the Army, that's all he wants to do. He doesn't want to go back to his old job, which his older brother and his mother expect him to, and after trying that out, it doesn't work out too well because he's just got his mindset on building bridges and building roads, and so with his mother's blessing, he sets out on the road to find himself and get that good paying engineer job. But he has a bit of trouble on his way to do that. We see Jim travel across the country from state to state looking for a job in the line of work that he's interested in. He gets turned down frequently, but he keeps going, keeps looking for something. Eventually, he does land a job for a little bit, but he gets laid off, and so he has to keep going, and finally he does end up at this little dive just for a quick pit stop. But things go wrong for Jim, and he gets wrongly accused of something that he didn't do, and he ends up in a chain gang. The food that they have them eating looks terrible. A lot of the conditions that they're living under look inhumane while watching the film, and so you do feel very sorry for Jim, Paul Muni's character, as you see him go through this experience in the chain gang, knowing that he's innocent. There's one part where one of them gets out, and everybody's watching at the window, seeing one of them leave because he's served his time, and they're all watching him in envy, and you can tell that Jim is getting ideas because he doesn't want to be there anymore. He's just fed up and he's tired of the abuse and all that bullshit. And so he starts to formulate a plan. And as we all know, the title of the movie is I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. And so you know at some point he is going to try and bust out. Throughout the film, and especially in certain moments like the escape scenes and the chase scenes, Jim demonstrates a real intelligence in the way that he survives and in the way that he evades his captors. There's one scene where he's being chased through the woods after his first escape, and they're running towards him with dogs and stuff, and he jumps into some water, and he breaks off a bamboo stick and uses it to go underwater and breathe while they get really close to him in that water, and it's really, really tense moment. Now, when it comes to the rest of the movie, I don't want to give away anything else because if you haven't seen this movie, and if you do check it out for the first time, I don't want to rob you of the experience because it's just a lot of fun to see how Jim handles certain situations, and you know, I don't want to spoil certain things. One thing that I can tell you, though, is I'm happy to say that the power of cinema is for real. Back in the 1930s, American audiences had no idea of the torture and the brutality that these people in these prison camps were going through in these chain gangs. And because of this film, it brought up an awareness. And a lot of people in the chain gang, that real-life chain gang, actually got an appeal and were released. And that includes the real-life chain gang escapee Robert E. Burns, the character that Jim Allen is based on in the film. So the guy actually went free because of this film. That's a real, true testament to the power of cinema. Paul Muni was an incredible actor and definitely one of the best of his generation, in my opinion. If you look at his performance in 1932's Scarface as Tony Camonte, you'll see the difference in the personality he can display. Very versatile guy with a lot of skill. He can convey a lot with just a simple glare or just being silent, not saying a word. You can see the wheels turning in his head. And this is a terrific thriller drama that I highly recommend. It's a good kind of jailhouse movie, a good escape movie, a good chase movie, And for a black and white movie, that's pretty damn cool. If you're not familiar with old black and white movies, go down the rabbit hole and check them out for yourself. Some of the best out there that are available to watch are still available because they're so damn good. Great even. And this movie is one of those. 1932's I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. This is a movie that I'm sure you can find on streaming. Here's my copy of the film right here on DVD, as you can see there. This classic film. Paul Muni with his hands up, somebody pointing a gun at him. You might be able to guess what's going on there, but yeah, I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang, 1932. It's a great film. I love it. 4 stars. It's one of my favorite films of all time. And if you haven't seen it, my stomach's growling. I highly encourage you to check it out. I wonder if you guys could hear that. Can you hear that? I wonder. I'm a little hungry. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into the classics, if you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing in general, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications on more movie reviews from me to come out very soon. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, always helps out the channel. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for all your support. It's much appreciated. Till the next video, everybody peace out. God bless.